All right, guys, so you can probably tell from the title of the video, we got a problem with the Scat Pack here. So as you know, these cars come with something called the active exhaust, which has the actuators that, open and close at certain times. So on my car, at some point, they decided to go bad. Notice I said I have a check engine light on my car for both of my active exhaust valves, not the valves, but actual actuators going back. So in this video, what we're gonna do today, one of three things is gonna happen. One, we're gonna diagnose the issue and fix it. Two, we're gonna diagnose it, won't be able to fix it today, but fix it later. Or three, we may not fix it at all. But I've got an idea what I think it could be on this car to fix it. So if you're running into the same issue, hopefully this helps you out. Let's go ahead and jump into the video right now. This is my Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body. It's big, it's loud, it's bright red. It simply grabs attention no matter where I go. Unfortunately, I bought a car that is 60 times more likely to be stolen than any other car on the road. With the long list of mods and things I bought for this car, one of the first things I installed on my car was this. CarLock, the world's best GPS tracker and alert system. With CarLock, you will be able to live track your car with the GPS from your phone. Also, get alerts sent directly to your phone if anything is going on with your car, such as vibrations, engine starting, the car moving when it shouldn't be moving, or if there's a loss of power, your CarLock will get an alert for that as well. Be sure to get your CarLock. Use my link down in the description below and these discount codes to get a 10% discount on your CarLock purchase, as well as a 14-day free trial of the CarLock service as well. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, so now before we get into fixing the car, we got to move the car over, get it up on the jack and whatnot, so we can get up under the car to look at the valves. Well, not the valves, the actuators here. But we're going to give you guys a cold start on the car now because I do have the check engine light. It probably will turn back off, but I did clear it, so it might stay on a little bit longer, but we're going to go ahead and get the car started up. Go ahead, you know what to do, start it up, buddy. No, not, no, we do. Yeah, there we go. That one twice. All right, there we go. Get the cold start real quick. There it is. It just cut off. It just cut off because I got the check engine light on. I'm gonna show you the issue we got with the car. See right there, remote start disabled. To reset vehicle, whatever. So let me just hit this button real quick. Make sure it's turned down, turn this, get this on. So, you can read the codes from here. So checking system for diagnostic codes. And it should give me the two codes that I got. It's taking a long time to check for it. I mean, you already cut off, so you know what codes it is. What? This is, what is it? Okay, so first, okay. Checking system. So the thing is, it's probably not gonna show me the codes here because like I said, I just cleared them. I thought the codes popped back up, but the car is still noticing there's an issue here. So it's not bringing up any codes or anything like that right now. But let me go ahead and move the car over, show y'all what's going on with the car. Hopefully we diagnose it and fix it on this video. If not, hopefully we identify the issue, we can fix it on another video here. All right, guys, so now I started the car again. You can see now we got the code here. So if I go down here to view diagnostic codes, you see U113F and U1140. So those are the codes for the active exhaust, right, on the car. So both of them are showing bad. And these cars, the active exhaust actuators are somewhere around this area. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jack the car up, get up under there and see what's going on with them. All right, guys, see now we got the car up on the wood here because, you know, I'm sitting crazy low with this thing. And don't mind how dirty my car is. It rained not too long ago. Well, actually, I think it's a couple of days ago. And my car is dirty. I had to drive through it. So I won't be like this for long because, you know, I don't like have my car dirty. But, so the first thing is I want to try to troubleshoot what's going on with my active exhaust actuator. So y'all know, first thing, I have a 3-inch catback on my car. I have the MBRP race catback. And with the race catback, it deletes the valves, but we keep the actuators plugged in. So the actuators are still on the car, they're plugged in, but I don't have any valves. So the car stays wide open the whole time with the valves. But since both of these are bad, since both valves are bad, or showing bad, well, both actuators are showing bad, I'm gonna go ahead and check the trunk for the fuse, because there's a fuse that operates on both, and that could be this simple fix. So let's go check the fuse. All right, guys, so this is from the trunk of the car here. And you can see right there, your active exhaust, you know, fuse is gonna be an F36, if you can see that there. So we're gonna pull fuse F36 and see what it looks like. So right here, guys, this is the fuse for it. So 15 amp fuse here. And so I can show you guys real quick here. We get a close up of it. You can see right here, let's go into the light a little bit. This fuse is blown. You see, looking at the thing, that fuse is blown. It's no good. So we know at least the fuse is bad. So it could be, this could be a simple fix. We put the fuse in there and we could be good. So let's try to replace the fuse and see if the fuse is gonna fix this. All right, so we got a pack of fuses, right? It's almost like I knew I'm gonna need fuses. So I got, this is actually one pack just with 2 packs worth of fuses in it, because my other pack down here won't stay closed. So put all my fuses here. So I got enough fuses to test to make sure all this is gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a fuse in here, see what happens. If it pops again, then we know we got some kind of issue there. We're gonna check for that. But hopefully this will be a short video. We put the fuse in, we good. So let's test it. All right, guys, so I put the fuse in, and as soon as I put the fuse in, I heard like the actuator start working again. I heard like a little sound. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna clear the code real quick, and then run it again and see if my engine light comes back on. Now, what has happened before, I tried this before, it came back because it popped the fuse again. So let's see what happens when I crank it up this time. You see, I got my code reader here, and it's showing those codes there that I need to clear. So let's go back here, back, and we're just gonna go, no, not eval, we're gonna go up here to race codes from this standpoint here. Yeah, like I want to go. Yep, I'm gonna erase those. Press any key to continue. So got codes erased here, so it's still gonna show till I turn it off. You can see here so far, of course, we don't have any codes right now. I just erased them on the car. Now, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna turn the car off and turn it back on, because what happens with it is it'll come on, I won't have the code, but as soon as I turn it on again, the code will come back. So go ahead, power the car off here. I'm talking loud, right? Power it off, I'm gonna turn it back on and see if it comes back. And do we have anything pop up here? So far, there it is, right back. Code is back right there. So I bet I popped that fuse again. You can see the codes there. Hold up, it's only showing, hold up. Let's go back again, let's try that again here. So it's only showing one. So one of the, so it's showing one of these now. So one of them is good and not showing the other. So U113F, right? All right, guys, so I cleared the code a few times, checked the fuses a few times. I crunked the car up, turned it off a few times. I even went through my drive modes to make the active exhaust actuators do stuff, and I'm still only now getting U1140. Now that is for the right active exhaust actuator here. So it seems like one of the ones, the one on the driver's side is fine, but the one on the passenger side is the one that we're having issues with. So I'm gonna jack the car up, see if I can see anything with it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we are under the car, and this is the driver's side actuator here. There is right by the rear diff, rear axles and stuff like that. So I already see the problem, what happened here. So if you look on this side here, you see that we have the actuator here, right there. You have the axle here going into the diff right up here. So you can see how much space and clearance we got here, right? So nothing's catching, nothing's good, everything's good on this side here. So now here's the problem when we go look over here. Got my light here, hope you can see it. Let me see it better here. So I'm gonna try to get up in here. The problem here is that the connector is right up here. You got the connector right up here, and this is the axle
for the passenger side here. So I'm not sure you can see it here, but if I get the camera close up here as I can, pretty much the axle here is rubbing up against the connector for the active exhaust here. So active exhaust actuator. So you can see here that the valves, I mean, the actuators aren't connecting anything. So I don't have any valves here, but I still have them plugged in. So what looks like is happening here is that this axle is hitting this, causing this to rub, and this is probably what's shortening out, causing the fuse to pop is this. So that's why both of them went out here. So that's, I'm not sure how far this wire goes up, but that's gonna be the problem with that. So I'm pretty sure this actuator is good, but the issue is that this pipe here, I think this needs to rotate down slightly here to get it away from that, just a little bit. Just rotate it down, and that should fix the issue. The only issue now is that how bad it messed up this connector. Because this connector screwed up, then, and we can't save the wires or anything there, then that's gonna be something that that's gonna be not fun to fix. I have no clue how far this wire goes up. There might be another connection for it somewhere else. If there is, that's great. But if that wire harness is really long and runs somewhere weird in the car, then we're in bad luck, because that is the problem. Now, this isn't a result of my car being lowered, because right now the car is at max travel, right? So if I let it down, it'll give it some more space, but as it oscillates, it's gonna hit that. So even, I mean, at stock height, I mean, this part right here doesn't move that much. I mean, most of the movement is gonna be down here. So as this thing moves, it's gonna hit up that. So that's why, another thing, if you do your exhaust or want down to get Aftermarket Catback or something, you wanna make sure you have clearance for this. And I think I had clearance for this at beginning, because I had this same setup on the car since maybe a few months after I had the car. But I think the issue that happened here was that it got adjusted, and when they adjusted it up into that. So that is going to be the problem. All right, guys, so a couple things I did off camera here. So I went ahead and took in this part of the exhaust, this section of my exhaust, and I loosened it up and adjusted it down a little bit to get it away from this half shaft here. Now, another thing, while I'm looking at the actuator here, I can feel the actuator, that the top of that actuator does show some damage where it got rubbed against here with that. So yeah, so that it could, so this actuator could actually be bad or may not be bad here. So I just wanted to make sure I get some clearance from this. I may actually take this and maybe shift it forward just a little bit to get it away from there. But I think now I should have enough clearance here from that, because right now it's in the air, so the wheels are fully, you know, everything's fully extended down. So when it drops down, it should shift up some, and it shouldn't be that far. I should be good on everything there. But let me go ahead and get the car down. Been kind of brainstorming how I'm gonna fix this whole thing here, because the harness here shows some issues. I can see the wires are rubbed right here. And like I said, actuators rubbed off right there. So I got a couple ways I can fix this. All right, so I got the car back down. It's still on the little blocks or whatever. We'll get that later. So now that we found the problem to the car with the active exhaust, so how do we fix it, right? So I think there's gonna be 3 fixes to do this. The most expensive fix is going to be the wiring harness for both of the active exhaust actuators. So I know it was only one side that was showing damage, but I checked out a wiring diagram, and pretty much both sides are on the same harness. So you would have to replace the whole thing. And I don't know where it goes in the car, but that sounds pretty expensive. I know that's the way Dodge would prefer it to be replaced and whatnot. Now I know the question was like, okay, if the problem is only on the active exhaust on the passenger side, why did the fuse, or why did your code show both of them being bad? So this is what was going on. The damage on the car was, since it was being rubbed, that rubber, where that plastic stuff was being rubbed, the damage on that caused the wires to touch. So there's probably like a power wire and the ground wire in the harness. And when it rubbed together, when it got rubbed away, the wires were probably flailing all over the place. They touched each other, and when they touched, that popped the fuse. And when it popped the fuse, it took the other active exhaust offline. So that's why I got the code for both of my exhaust actuators being bad when that wasn't the case. But there's going to be two other fixes for this that I think is going to be the less expensive route or cheaper routes or things like that. The way to fix it, the first way to fix it is there is this thing called Z Automotive that they make these things that you plug into your active exhaust plugins, and that will just take the active exhaust completely out of the case. You don't have to worry about it or whatnot. Now, the downside of that is my plug on this side, on the passenger side, is messed up. So even if I bought that kit, I would still have to do something with the plug and the wiring on that passenger side to make sure I have the right connections and everything going on. So that still wouldn't work. Now, the other option is we can find a harness that is like, we can find the active exhaust harness somewhere, find that part, and then what we can do from there is we can take the wire, the part that plugs into the passenger side, we can cut the wires, splice in the new harness part that plugs into the actuator, and then plug that into the actuator. Now, the thing about that is if the actuator is actually bad, we'll still get a code and I'll still have to do something about the actuator. Then I can probably still have to get the Z Automotive thing to plug that in, and that would take care of everything. But I don't think the actuator is actually bad. It just seems like it just rubbed away that plastic part on the outside. But like I said, I adjusted the exhaust, so that's gonna be out the way now, so we shouldn't have that problem. So I think I'm gonna try to source a active exhaust harness and just splice it into that side and fix it that way. Now, this code is not gonna stop the car from running or anything like that. I haven't noticed any difference in performance. I just hate having that code, that check engine light on my car, because to me, I hate it, man. I hate it. It just looks so bad, right? It just aggravated to me. I hate looking at it. I hate seeing it. But that's my idea for the fix here. So I'm gonna source that, and then on a later video, I can show you how I'm gonna go through and fix it. Hopefully that will take care of it, unless something else develops in the meantime. So I don't think that harness is gonna be expensive. I hope not. I'll probably find one on eBay or whatever. There's a lot of Mopar parts. Places I can find it. So that shouldn't be an issue. Now, the next thing I know you guys wonder, well, why was your active exhaust valves, active exhaust actuator so close to the axle to begin with? That seems like a poor design in your exhaust, right? And no, that's not that. It's not the design of the exhaust fault, right? My catback, well, let me say this. The factory catback on these cars are all one piece. So there's nothing, so once you install it into the car, it goes front to back. There's no pieces, there's no extra adjustments you need to do. With these catbacks that have, any aftermarket catback is gonna come in different pieces and different sections and things of that nature. So you have to make sure as you're installing it to adjust it accordingly to make sure you avoid certain things. Now, what happened on mine was that one section, it got turned a little bit because it was hanging lower, but it was hanging lower to avoid hitting that axle there. And then when it got adjusted, it hit the axle, and that's when we ran into the issue that we have here today. So anytime you install any aftermarket catback, make sure you're checking your adjustments. Now, this didn't happen when I first got it on, because I had the catback on this car for almost 2 years. This check engine light just happened recently on this car. So it wasn't something that happened from the get-go. Everything was just fine from the jump. It just, over time, things moved around a little bit more than they need to be. So you always got to check those type of things, which I adjusted already, so we shouldn't have the problem going forward. But nonetheless, I still got to get that check engine light taken care of. So I'm gonna look for that part, and we'll see how that goes for next time. So next time, what I'm planning on doing is trying to find the harness, cut the wire, go to remove some of that coating or that wrap that's around it, splice the harness into that, and that should take care of my check engine light issue there. So, but before I end this video here, now if you're troubleshooting your car for an active exhaust issue, you must want to do some of the same things I did here. You want to see what codes you're getting. If you're getting 1 code or 2 codes, that should tell you where to start looking here. You can see in my situation, I had 2 codes showing up. So that means I went to the trunk, I checked my fuses here. So if you have the same issue and you have 2 codes showing up for both active exhaust actuators, check your fuses first. If you check your fuses, see if that fixed the issue. If it did not fix the issue, then you may want to get in the car, because you may be running into an issue like I did. Like, those active exhaust actuators are exposed under the car, so you can be driving, something can hit it, something could hit the clip, whatever it is, like the harness, whatever it is, hit the wires, stuff like that. I mean, you saw it was just exposed under the car. So a number of things can get in the car and cause that to happen. Now, it'd be rare for that to happen, for something to go under the car and hit that one part, but it's still possible if you run over something big or something like that. I know these cars are already low, but those are things to look out for if you have that issue there. So you want to check them on in there, make sure your harnesses are good, make sure there's those damages to the actuators or the plugins themselves. That will tell you where your issue is going to be. So unfortunately, my issue, I have a damaged actuator and plug-in on the passenger side. I'm more than likely think it's the plug-in that's gonna be the problem. So we're gonna look at it from that standpoint and go from there. But that is gonna wrap up today's video. I wanna thank y'all so much for tuning in on today's video here. If you got any questions about the check engine light that I just showed y'all here today, how to fix it, just feel free to drop some comments below and I'll make sure to try to get back to you. As always, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of car related things on here. We talk about cars. I do a little bit of my working on cars, get my hands dirty a little bit with this, on things I know how to do. Catch y'all in the next video. We're out. Cut it.